Hello and welcome to Anatomy of the Game. We're going to talk about cornerbacks today. We're going to look at how to play the bump and run coverage. We're also going to look at how to play zone defense as a cornerback. Along the way, I'll go over some hints and tips on how to maneuver your corner. Let's get started. This first play we're going to look at is a basic cover 2 man defense. We're playing as number 37, the corner. We're going to play a tight coverage on this man defense. And in this game, they do not designate bump and run, but we are going to try to be as close as possible to this receiver and go over some techniques on how to play man. We also have a safety that will be over the top, so we can take a little more time and play underneath our receiver on this cover 2 man defense. Let's go to the play. Number 37, we want to backpedal as long as we can until the receiver makes his move or until he becomes parallel with us. If he was going on a fly route, we'd want to turn our hips and follow, trailing his inside hip because we know we have help over the top. In this case, we're going to backpedal until the receiver makes his cut. And right here, we want to open with our right hip. And then our eyes look through the receiver and into the backfield to watch the quarterback. We want to trail his inside hip in a technique that we can jump the route. At this point, I see the ball being thrown the opposite direction, so then we just try to make a play on the ball. All right, on this play, we're running a dime defense, cover 2 man. So we want to be manned up on a receiver. I'm playing as number 37. I've got number 14. And again, in this man defense, it's not important to look into the backfield, especially in a bunch formation. You want to look directly at your receiver and go off of his movements. This isn't a bump and run coverage, but we do want to just focus on the receiver until he makes his cut. So off the line, we want to make sure we're not going to have a crossing route, so we need to pay attention so we don't run into our own guy. I want to backpedal out the start. See that he's running hard. He's not coming out to block me, so I do not have to look for a run. We're going to backpedal until he makes his cut. And you saw the adjustment there. I almost started to turn, guessing that he was on a post or a corner route. Right there is the adjustment. Then he makes his cut, so then we readjust. And this whole time we want to keep our hips square to the line and open with our hip. So we open with our right hip. Now at this point, I know I have a safety over top, but I'm in really good position to jump this route. So I'm going to try to run parallel with the receiver and get ready to jump the route on the inside. This is at this moment when he makes his cut. This is when our eyes go through him to the backfield. So we want to see where the quarterback's looking. We want to watch his eyes. We want to watch his body language and play the ball accordingly. In this case, I started to trail his hip because the ball wasn't thrown yet. I know I have help over the top, and the quarterback gets hit. Okay, we're going to take a look at the cornerback position playing a zone defense. We are in a 4-4 cover 3 zone. What that means is I will be dropping back into one of the thirds, which is the deep zone. It's probably right on the numbers past the 30, and will stretch as far as the deepest wide receiver. I won't let anything behind me, and I want to keep about a 5-yard cushion between myself and the nearest wide receiver or tight end. So on the snap of the ball, you can see my alignment's a little different. I'm actually looking, cheating a little bit inside so I can see the quarterback. And on the snap of the ball, my first read is just to backpedal and watch the quarterback's eyes. So now that I see that it's a pass play, I'm backpedaling as fast as I can to get into my zone and want to stay that way. Now once the ball is thrown, even in a deep zone, playing a corner, you always have the force. You want to force the ball back inside. You don't have the Star Wars force, although it seems like that sometimes in these videos, but you want to force the ball back inside. So as this ball was thrown, instead of coming inside to try to make the play, you have to keep your outside shoulder free, take on any blocks, and turn the ball carrier back inside. And that's what number 37 did. We don't want to get caught going inside because then he gets around the corner, breaks it down the sideline, and then it's a foot race to the end zone. So that's a little basic read and react on the zone defense. So your reads are a little differently than in man. In zone, you want to look at the quarterback as you're getting to your zone. Look through the receivers to the quarterback. So you want to know where your receivers are going. You want to know where the direction they're going. But you also want to make sure you're getting to your zone and watching the quarterback so you can react when the ball's thrown. A little different from your man defense where you're paying attention to your receiver and not looking into the backfield until he makes his move. Here we are again with the cornerback playing his zone defense. We're going to play a deep zone on this play. And at the snap of the ball, our first read obviously is the quarterback. So we're going to backpedal, get into our zone. We don't want to bite when the quarterback turns his back like we normally would with a read step or check steps with the linebacker position. We're in a deep zone. We do not want to take the bite or the bait for the play action. So we want to make sure we're keeping our deep zone till the last possible minute. Right there we see the ball carrier broke the open, so now we need to change our direction, redirect, keep everything to the inside of us. We want to turn him back inside or make the play on the ball. So we collide.
Hope you enjoyed this short look into the defensive back position. Thanks to Avoc23 from the Backbreaker Forum for his question. Remember, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to see on the show, please leave me a comment or an email.